Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto YAHAWAH, BA'Hashem, YAHAWASHI, BA'Hashem, RICANS, YAHAWAH being the name of the Heavenly Father, whom the world ignorantly calls God, YAHAWASHI being the name of His Son, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, BA'Hashem meaning in the name. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, and shalom to mighty Akim Wagwathim who are diligently waiting to be delivered from final captivity. This is Brother Kawa Cup coming at you with another lesson. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. In today's topics, we're going to be talking about some of these devices. The primary two devices, or the one device, is that certain things, as well as certain doctrines and certain, I guess, devices as well, literal devices as well. But yeah, basically what they've been trying to do, let's actually look at these two videos. Well, not video, but one video, one picture. So we have this, okay, the alphabet gang is the Trojan horse. I don't know if you know what the Trojan horse is. Let's actually get the definition for Trojan horse. Trojan horse, countable noun. If you describe a person or thing as a Trojan horse, you mean that they are being used to hide someone's true purpose or intentions. Okay, so yeah, this is a perfect example of it. Basically, what the Trojan horse was the literal definition of it, translation, whatever term you want to use, is basically the Trojan horse is it's like a sculpted model of a horse, but inside of it there was war in their hearts. That was like, oh look, this is just something that I want to show. It's kind of like if I think France made the Statue of Liberty and gave it to America. I'm pretty sure that was the history behind it. And the thing was, if you take the same application, but they actually had a bunch of soldiers or bombs or whatever to destroy America as soon as it gets there. All right, that's basically what the Trojan horse is. Now we translate to this, and that's what Esau has been doing with the alphabet stuff. All right, alphabet stuff. It's a growing. What's the word? It's a growing community, I guess, if you want to call it that, or a movement / doctrine, where they are in fact constantly adding more alphabets to it. And what I mean by that is basically, before, I remember that it used to be just the first 4 letters that you see, but then they added the Q, then they added the plus, because they're adding just an uncontrollable a lot of different, not necessarily but sexualities to it. Basically, that's what they're doing. And one of the biggest things was one of the things that they are slowly kind of inching towards, okay, which funnily enough, some of the people, I guess, they aren't aware of that. But just like with how Jake had a reality check being in that, some Jake have had a reality check being in the alphabet gang. All right, because they were the ones that exposed and said that being a part of the alphabet gang, you're going to meet a whole bunch of racist people and stuff like that. Their words, not mine. Okay, they were the ones that said incredibly disrespectful, and they absolutely despise, which is actually pretty funny and ironic, because normally you would think that it's the Democrats, quote unquote, the liberal people, that are more accepting, as the Western society has demonstrated, not necessarily demonstrated, but led people to believe. That's a better phrase. But in actuality, it doesn't matter where you go. There's always going to be some sort of like demons, making Israel, making Jake more specifically remember their place in society. All right, like you cannot be. There's no acceptance. Esau absolutely hates you, no matter what type of Edomite it is, no matter how far left, far right, far up, far down he hate Israel. All right. So with this, slucky about that, but basically with this, funnily enough, it is actually the whole P thing. The letter P has always kind of been one of the things that they have wanted to add on to the whole social acceptance. All right. The reason why I say this is because it's a very common place for them for like elites, I guess, to partake in some sort of thing that involves kids. They had the freaking thing with Joe Biden. Fuck, I probably shouldn't say that. But, Sleepy Joe and, touching kids and whatnot. I saw this one picture of Obama with some kid that clearly was not his. That was not a dark kid. I don't have the picture anymore. I won't be able to find it. Who else? I mean, just in general, not even just the presidents, but other political leaders and whatnot. They have always been, I guess, involved. And also, we also heard about the whole Epstein Island thing. All right, so it even goes further than that. Like, it's like all these people. Tends to be these people that have money that are partaking in some sort of sex trafficking with kids. So obviously, like they had to start out somewhere. And one of the biggest things for the alphabet stuff is they advocate for, why are you saying that I'm not allowed to love? Why are you saying that I'm not allowed to love someone just because we're the same gender? And then now it's going to be why are you saying that someone that chooses to change themselves, they can't get love, or like this, like all this stuff. And it keeps on, the standards keeps on lowering. It keeps on going away and away, so that there's basically no standards. So now you can love literally, and you can quote unquote love anything. All right, this is one of the biggest things that Esau has been forwarding. All right, so slocky about that. Let's continue on. Also, yeah, definitely true. But also, I also want to get this. Let me see if I find it. All right, so here, this person is male. A Cabrera says, notice how if you follow the news, it's white male heterosexual Republican Christian who have been the largest convicted of pedophilia. Wake up, you sound like a Fox propaganda. Now, the thing is, the thing you have to understand is the brother that was that made this, that posted this, okay, he obviously wasn't intending on like hyper focusing or hyper fixating on attacking Democrats. That's number one. Number two, why is this person, if they claim to be an Israelite, why do they care? But the main thing is, okay, anyway, the main thing is, it's not just, I'm not, and I've done videos on this, and I've talked about, we as Israelites, we don't hate Democrats. Well, yes, we do. Slocky. Okay, let me choose my words more specifically. We're not picking out Democrats and only saying that they are bad. We say that they are both bad. All Edomites are bad, basically. All right, but of course, there are going to be some that look like Edomites but are actually Israel. So that's not. I'm not trying to make sure nothing that I say gets taken out of context. But at the same time, it's like, that doesn't really help anything. Like, this was one post that was specifically targeted to one group of people. All right. And yes, at the end of the day, this is the Trojan horse for the P. Okay. The P doctrine, whatever you want to call it. Slock, I just remembered secularity is what I was going to call the stuff. Anyway, so basically, secularity is definitely the Trojan horse for the P. Okay. And people, the thing is, like, when you use the secular doctrine to rationalize things, okay, like that is what they're getting at. Okay, soon it's going to be the P, then it's going to be can I say that? I guess beast. All right, then it's going to be beast, then just everything. All right, because you can already get married. I think that you can legally get married. I'm pretty sure you can get legally married to an inanimate object. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, like they're just opening the gates for more and more wickedness and just nonsense. Let's move on to this with me. All right, here.
Prints even our eyes. Here now with more on the future of technology. NBC.
All right, Slock. Let me
Life in the U.S. in 10 years' time. By that time, there may be all kinds of new ways to safeguard and identify all those things that make each of us unique. Our faces, even our fingerprints, even our eyes. Here now with more on the future of technology. NBC's Tom Costello.
Slocky. Now, right quick, I just want to point out that just recently I did hear, not too long ago, I think this year, that they had figured out that there is in fact a genetic, if not necessarily genetic, but an inherent feature, an internal mechanism inside of us that where we are inherently in tune with believing in a God, more specifically. All right, and I think they called it the God gene or something like that, where that is basically our connection to a higher power. And this is what they have been trying to do. Their intentions in doing this is so that they can sever that connection, okay, because they want to be the ones that are being worshipped. Okay.
The year is 2017. You're rushed to a hospital unconscious with no ID or medical history, but thanks to a microchip under your skin, it's all there. Science fiction 20 years ago, but a biometric reality today.
The technology is based on answering one simple question. Am I who I say I am?
Already, fingerprints and iris scans verify passenger identities at airports. Within 10 years, that technology may be even more widespread. And look for more complex facial recognition programs that scan a crowd of thousands looking for tourists. Today's facial recognition software starts with the eyes. Then it maps out the contours of the face and compares that against a database of millions, a database that's growing by the day. What's next? At the University of Bath in England, researchers predict big changes for consumers.
I think it is possible to free us completely of our wallets and keys using biometric technology, if that's what people want in 10 years' time.
In fact, it's already here. The latest home security locks use fingerprints to control deadbolts. And at the Jewel Osco grocery store in Chicago, some customers pay using their fingerprints. No paper or plastic.
You don't really need anything other than your hand, and you already got that with you.
Stores scan our irises, like in the movie Minority Report, then offer products catered to who we are.
Hello, Mr. Yakamoto. Welcome back to the Gap.
Experts say that technology is here now. The challenge is to safeguard our privacy in a brave new world. Tom Costello, NBC News, Alexandria, Virginia.
Special coverage here tonight. Live.
So yeah, and as he said, this was a news clip in the early 2000s. So it wasn't even 2017 at that time. And yet look at what they're trying to. They're already predicting to be later on in the future. Okay, and I didn't even know, even in the early 2000s, they had some sort of locks that recognizes fingerprints. All right, and even though you could, me personally, I've never seen, any stores that made you pay. I mean, I have, but I've never been there personally, basically. So slocky about that. Yeah, I've never seen it personally, but we do see all these things that are, getting them, very clearly, this is something that's been 20 years in the making of them wanting to get people accustomed to this type of lifestyle. All right, because the same way they've gotten people accustomed to this lifestyle, all right, and we're gonna get to the point in time where they're just gonna actually take it to the next level. All right, they're gonna say, okay, you know what, yeah, I want to do this now. It's time, let's implement it. All right, so we just have to wait for that. Now let's get into these. Matthew chapter 24, verse 24. For there shall arise false Mashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. And this is one of the biggest things to understand and know, that even though a lot of this stuff is very convincing, very convenient, like especially, I think a lot of people in general, the general masses of people will definitely be enticed by this whole chip thing, okay, because I've already heard people talking about it, but at the same time, yes, I have heard people saying that it's bad, it's an invasion of privacy and all this stuff like that, but I have heard the other side where people, they praise it. All right, so as a result of that, it's going to seem very convenient to them. It's going to seem like, oh well, why would I need my keys and all this other stuff, or my credit, my keys, my credit card, and all this stuff, when I can just get this thing, and I won't even need to carry a purse, a wallet, or anything like that, when everything's just gonna be in my hand. Like, I'll never forget my hand. I'll never lose my. Look at all these quote unquote convenient upsides to it, but the thing is, like, this is the thing that's going to lead people astray. But funnily enough, a lot of this stuff, even though it seems convenient, the people, a large majority of people have already been warned of it. All right, and they already know. A majority of people are already in the know of what this whole convenience thing, and how it's actually not good for them. All right, so because they are in the know, they're going to abstain doing it, because it isn't good for them, and they are aware of this. They're made aware of this. All right, so as a result of them being made aware of it, it's going to come to a fact of, now if you take it, all right, when these people are taking it, they're going to be taking it of their own decision, because they chose the beast, they chose Edom over YAHAWASHI. All right, and that's going to lead to their destruction. Moving on. Matthew 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And this is what's going on here. You have them adding more and more seculars as time goes on. All right. In addition to that, they're adding more evil devices as time goes before. So let's get this now moving. So going back a bit over here to how this person was talking about, how he was attacking him, saying, oh, you think that Democrats are wrong when it's freaking conservatives and whatnot. That wasn't the point. That wasn't there's more that goes into it, and we as Israelites, we're not saying that one is better than the other. They're both wicked. They're both evil. That doesn't mean we align align ourselves or side with either of them. All right. Matthew 12 verse 26. And if Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? All right. And also, I'm not speaking on behalf of him. I'm just telling you just a general. I'm not speaking on behalf of this brother of prophets in Babylon 144. I'm just, shedding some light on a misconception. So slacky about that. I'm not trying to speak on his behalf. But yeah, basically, Matthew 12 verse 26. And if Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom? Matthew 12 verse 26. And if Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom? Now, basically, with this whole conservative versus liberal, war that has been going on for the longest time. Okay, that's Satan trying to cast out Satan. The society as a whole. Okay, they can't stand each other. They hate each other. They keep on fighting amongst each other. All right, and as a result of that divide in the kingdom, all right, divide in the kingdom, that is going to result in the Lord destroying said kingdom. All right, because we have to. If you are allied with someone, you should be like-minded. All right, you can't be, disagreeing with anyone. With the people you're supposed to be calling your allies, people you're supposed to be fighting hand in hand and fighting side by side with. This is a very big thing, and let me also get that. Mark chapter 3 verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. All right, so that just goes to show that the Lord, Lord is not with these kingdoms that's fighting against itself. So that's why, Babylon is going to be destroyed. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, Bahasham, YAHAWASHI, Bahasham, Rakak, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Abad, Babal, and Shalom.